Greetings to all and welcome to Tahiti Monday. I am Shenanigans, and in this series of This Is How I Do It, I am going over Hearthstone's Curse of Naxxramas. This video will be about Sapphiron in the Frostworm Lair.
My massive frostworm awaits. Dress warm.
Sapphiron has 45 health and for 0 mana destroys all of your minions that are not frozen. Sapphiron also has a card called Pure Cold, which deals 8 damage to you and freezes you. You can build around this deck with a Frost Mage deck, utilizing freeze spells and silence cards, but that's just a bit too obvious. I went back to the good old Control Druid. Let's take a look at the deck. Sapphiron can deal some damage with spells, but mostly it is dealt with his minions. Our job then is to kill all his minions. This means we will need healing, armor, and direct damage. For such cards we have Claws, Savagery, Wrath, Bite, Swipe, Keeper of the Grove, who we will not just use for damage but also for silence, and finally Starfire. There are 2 other cards, which are Naturalize, which is generally a very bad card, but in very few instances it is actually amazing. This is one such instance. And the other card is Wild Growth. Wild Growth can be used early on to accelerate your mana, or used late in the game to draw some extra cards. We then have some minor combos that we can use to give us a bit of an advantage. The first combo is Mark of Nature paired with either Druid of the Claw or Reckless Rocketeer, giving us a very high amount of instant damage. The second combo is Poison Seeds with Starfall. That's pretty much it for the deck, so let's get into it.
Malfurion versus Sapphiron.
I must protect the wild.
For the early game, you need to set up your Poison Seed Starfall combo. You don't need to start with those cards in your hand, and you don't always have to use the combo, but it is nice to have it. Other than that, you want early removal. This does not include Naturalize. I repeat, Naturalize is bad, with one exception. If you have the option of reducing all of Sapphiron's minions to 2 health so you can use Starfall without Poison Seeds, please go ahead and do so. Wrath is also very good in the early game, as most of Sapphiron's minions have either 1 or 3 health. Just try not to draw too many cards in the beginning. I'll go into that later on. The mid-game starts with your first clearing of the board. This can be with Starfall or Swipe. Also, you don't have to play Poison Seeds the same turn as Starfall. You can use one after the other. If a minion has low health but high attack, consider using Savagery rather than taking the hit directly. Your focus now is to keep Sapphiron's board clear in any way that you can. Here's a trick you can use. If Sapphiron plays a Necronite, bring its health down low, but don't kill it. Wait until you can maximize its death rattle. Patience pays off a lot in this matchup, so keep using Shapeshift for armor and endure the hits when you can. Sometimes, shapeshifting and attacking is all you need to do for the entire turn. Your heal spells and armor cards will take care of that damage later in the game. By the way, Necronite's death rattle has no effect if you use Poison Seeds. Finally, we've reached the late game. Once Sapphiron is top decking, you will be ready to implement the most silly of tactics. If you're worried about the 2 cards in Sapphiron's hand, don't be. They are Blizzard cards and he will never get to play them. The tactic is this: Sapphiron can't deal damage to you after he's used both of his Pure Cold cards. So keep on adding your armor and let him fatigue himself to death. Your second Poison Seeds card is a great way to handle his Fairy Dragons and Spectral Knights. Oh, and remember Naturalize? It looks pretty good now, doesn't it? 1 mana to destroy a minion and deal at least 3 damage is, to say the least, unfair. You'll be glad Sapphiron was drawing all of those cards earlier on in the game. And now you hopefully see why you don't always want to draw a card with Wrath. And that is how I did it, Sapphiron of the Frostworm Lair. I hope this guide has been helpful in showing you the path to victory. Have fun making your own variations on this deck, or use different characters to make a similar, maybe even more powerful version than mine. Some other decks you could try are a rogue bounce deck, focusing on killing off all of Sapphiron's early minions, and then forcing Sapphiron to overdraw with cards like Coldlight Oracle, or King Muckla and Leroy Jenkins paired with a Vanish. Throw in some Brewmasters and healing, and with the right luck you should be able to defeat Sapphiron. Or try the ever-reliable Frostmage deck, similar to what you could have used to defeat Gloof. And don't forget the trick of playing a large minion and freezing it with Ice Lance, and then silencing it on your following turn so it can attack. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more of the Frostworm Lair.
My dragon! I do not like you.
I don't remember this being so easy. I remember it being a lot harder than
For
this.
the wild.
I don't know.
I must sing.
Maybe it was Stealth that was the hard one. I don't know. We'll see. Yep. Bye-bye. Keep good to go. Necronite. I don't know. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's not as easy as I had remembered after all. At least we can play Alex
This is
Cosmo.
heroic, Naxxramas. I won't stand for such
Yeah.
tactics.
I forgot about that. Right. You can't play Alex Strauss against him. Pass the turn. Whoops. Forgot about that one. Alright, still. Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. Oh, right, and Pure Gold, right. Forgot about that, too. Wow. Alright, well, it's as hard as I remember. We got some changes to make. Alright.